And when you hop in on this bike, you will not feel like you're an entry-level rider because it does make good power, it handles well, it looks full sport, and I really like that. Hi, I'm Kip Palmer, editor of Cycle News, and we're at Malibu Beach. It's a great place to finish a ride, which we've just done on the new Ninja 500. And we spent about 60-70 miles on that today, and just finished things up. And a lot of things come to mind, but I think the first thing that really comes to mind on this new bike is such an easy motorcycle to ride. It's a sport bike. It's considered a full-on sport bike, but man, it is super comfortable, a lot of fun to ride. And I think what I enjoyed the most about it was just the comfort, and it's so light. It's a bike that you can just have total confidence in. You come into a turn maybe a little bit quicker than you want. Oh, hey, this thing's so light, I can move it around and get through the corners really, really well. So I was just a big fan on the way it handled. I thought it was a really good handling motorcycle. And I mentioned comfort, and I'm a little tall maybe for this motorcycle. I'm like 6'1", but I never felt cramped on it all day. I felt really comfortable. I was able to move around on it, and so there are a lot of good things I like about that. So probably the biggest news with this motorcycle is its engine. It's replacing the outgoing Ninja 400 and the new 500. The main difference really is it's a longer stroke motor now. The displacement is the same, but it's got the longer stroke. The actual displacement is 451. So that's probably the biggest news about this bike is obviously the bigger displacement. And you definitely feel that displacement on the road. It's been a little while since I rode the 400, which I was impressed with anyway. And this motorcycle is just better in every way when it comes to the engine. Makes really good torque for a rather small engine, I guess. I mean, it's not 1,000 and it's not a 600, so I kind of consider it a little bit on the smaller side, but it has a lot of torque for its size. And it also revs really well. I was really surprised on how far you could rev the engine, and it just keeps making power a lot farther than I thought it would. And so I thought it covered all the bases, like from really low end to upper RPM. So you can really rev this bike a lot, and it doesn't vibrate. You don't get excessive vibration. And so there's a lot of things I really liked about the motor, but I was very impressed with the torque and probably the mid-range. It has really, really good mid-range for its size. So today I was on the special edition model, I guess we would call the SE. That would be the Ninja 500 SE. And this is the one that's kind of got a little bit of an upgrade. You get a little more with it than you would the standard model. I think the biggest upgrade that I see is the TFT color instrumentation. That is really nice. That makes this bike look high-end. When you're sitting in the cockpit, you're looking at the TFT and it looks like, man, you're on one of the higher-end Ninjas and stuff like the ZXs or something. So that's a really nice upgrade. And it's adjustable. You can change the color with a white background or a dark background or however you like it. It's really easy to read. It's just a really, really nice upgrade for it. Yeah, the key pass, which is the key fob, so you don't always have to take a key in and out. That works really well too. We just stash the key inside the bike under the rear seat cowl, and didn't have to worry about the key the rest of the day. You just work the switch when you leave, and then you walk away. Well, if you had the key with you, you'd walk away, it would automatically lock, and you come back. So that's really a nice upgrade for this price point of a motorcycle. It retails for $63.99, and to get that nice TFT screen, you get the key pass, and there's quite other little upgrades to it that really makes it really nice. You can buy all this stuff separately, but when you buy the SE, you get all that stuff, and it's quite a bit of savings rather than buying each one single. So it's a really nice upgrade. You also get the tall windshield, which is really, really nice too. I didn't ride the other one with the lower one, but I generally kind of like that bigger, wider one like this one has compared to the standard. It's a little bit shorter, but the taller one on the KRT model SE is really nice. That's a nice upgrade as well. And then you get like the little protections, like the tank pad, the knee pads, and you get the radiator screen, and then just in case something happens, you have the frame slider. So it comes with all that, which is it's a good value for the overall cost of the motorcycle. So this motorcycle is kind of designed for somebody who has probably ridden a motorcycle before just a few times, maybe just enough to know that they want a motorcycle, they want a street bike, they want something that's sporty, something that's not too over the top and that's still comfortable. Well, this bike kind of fits all of that. It hits all the nails right on the head with that, because I think for an entry-level rider, they're not going to be intimidated by this motorcycle. When you get on it, it's comfortable, it's small. And one thing I really liked about it is that slow speeds, like in your parking lot, or you're just trying to turn the bike around, or you're in a parking lot moving it, you're riding into a restaurant or something like that. It's so light and easy to move around, and it's got a low seat height, so it's easy to put your feet on the ground and get it planted. So to me, for like somebody who's new to motorcycles, that's kind of a big deal. And Kawasaki did a really good job on making this bike really accessible to a new rider who's going to feel really confident on this motorcycle, because it just does everything really well, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to do it. One thing I really like about this bike, when you think about maybe I know how I was when I was like new and stuff. I didn't want a motorcycle to look like it was an entry-level motorcycle. And a lot of those bikes just have that look. You might not be able to just pinpoint exactly what it is, but you could tell that, this is kind of an entry-level motorcycle. What I really like so much about the Ninja 500 is that it looks like a full-on, full-size sport bike, which it kind of really is, but it looks like it looks full sport. And I really like that, because somebody who's new at it, yeah, they're new at it, but they don't want to look new at it. And this bike really looks like full-on sport bike. Like, you'd be proud to take this bike to the track. And I also like the colors and the combinations that you have to choose from. The KRT model is the whole green one, which is really nice, I kind of like that one probably the best. I like it when it's in motion. I just love the looks of that bike. It stands out when you're on it. And then the 40th anniversary edition one is probably my favorite one for sure. It just looks beautiful. So it's kind of nice to have all these different varieties to look at. And when you hop in on this bike, you will not feel like you're an entry-level rider, you're new to it. You're going to look like, you've been riding bikes for years, and you'll fit right in with maybe your buddies who are a little more experienced. And speaking of experienced riders, I think this bike is just as good for them. I know we say it a lot that, hey, it's an entry-level bike, but an experienced rider can have fun on it as well. Well, that's definitely true in this case for sure. It might be kind of considered an entry-level bike, but I know experienced riders will have a blast on this thing, because it does make good power, it handles well, the suspension's good, and again, it looks like a regular bike. So you're not going to feel like, oh, I'm this experienced rider on an entry-level motorcycle. You won't have that feeling at all, because the bike looks so good. So there's a lot of really good things about this bike. I think it's great for maybe newer riders, maybe somebody who's been riding for a while, but hey, maybe they're more of an off-road guy and they want to get to the street, but they still like the sport part of it. This is a great motorcycle for that. And it's great canyon roads like we were just doing today. We did hit some faster sections, like that would be almost equivalent to being maybe on a freeway. It had no problems at all. It was just humming right along. Yeah, 60 miles an hour, even 60, 65, and it was totally capable of that. And I know a lot of people are concerned about, well, how does it accelerate when you're merging onto traffic on freeways? No problem with this bike. It accelerates really, really well. So that shouldn't be a concern at all. I've been asked if there's anything what I don't like about the bike, and to tell you the truth, there really isn't a lot. I mean, I think suspension, I would probably play with suspension a little bit more. I think for the way it's set up off the showroom floor right now, for somebody with my weight, which, I don't know, it's relatively light, I guess, about 165 or so, I thought that was fine. I thought it worked really well for like the smaller bumps, even up at speed. But I also felt like you hit a little bit bigger ones, you might a little bit more blown out of the seat a little bit more than I would like. So maybe I would like a little more rebound in the back or something like that, but it's not a big concern. I mean, I wouldn't make, that's not a deal breaker or anything like that. But that was about the only thing I can think of that I really had issues with. Oh, I really like the brakes. I think the brakes are outstanding, really strong, and they're really just real progressive. No surprises at all. You just grab a handful or brake and you'll slow down in a hurry. And I also really like the slipper clutch. That's really nice too. You don't have to worry about, you know, maybe coming into a turn, getting a little light on the back, and the rear wheel won't chatter out and slip out on you. It stays real planted to the ground. So the clutch, the brakes, the handling, the really lightness of it were the things I really liked. And there really wasn't much that really stood out that I didn't like. I'd just probably play around with the suspension a little bit more and see what I could do. I know it's not really adjustable, but I'd probably play around a little bit with the preload and see if I can, you know, maybe help that a little bit. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for some more bike reviews coming up in the future on our YouTube channel. And also we'll have stories on these in our magazines, our digital magazine and our website. So keep an eye on that, and thanks for watching.